I've had bacterial vaginosis or before, but I just hadn't had it in a very long time. I initially tried boric acid, but it's just they help for a day. But then when you have sex again, it just comes back. Am I going to notice anything today? Is he going to notice anything? And I would just gauge every interaction and it would just go back and forth. And that's pretty frustrating when you're a sexually active person. I had finally decided to just pull the trigger on Happy V. Everything has improved as far as discharge, smell, even like wetness as well. Like it has drastically decreased everything that I was experiencing before.
Hey Ashley, welcome and so glad that you're here and excited to hear more about your Happy V story.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So would love to hear from the beginning what health struggles you were going through personally and what led you to looking for solutions.
I think what I was just struggling with is I work out all the time. I am also sexually active. I feel like I take really good care of myself as far as like eating healthy and drinking water and taking supplements and literally doing all the things that you're supposed to do. And so when I've had bacterial vaginosis, or I forget what the other one's called, before, but I just hadn't had it in a very long time. And I just, as a girl, when something's up. So I honestly just started like looking into more natural ways to help get rid of any of the symptoms that I was having. And I guess because of the algorithm and just typing things into Google, I kept seeing Happy V pop up on my Instagram and just listening to a lot of people's stories and like customer reviews. And I feel like something as like intimate as that for a female's body, I feel like it's really important to have a lot of women feel like they're getting results or they're happy with like how things are progressing and just how their body is responding to the supplements that Happy V has. Yeah, I just decided why not.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you struggled with BV on and off for a few years?
Not on and off. It was really just like I had it back in high school, and then I haven't had an issue with it until probably the last 4 or 5 months. I low-key think it's something to do with condoms and like the latex of them, and I think that has messed with the pH for me. You obviously want to protect yourself, and I guess sometimes your body just doesn't like that. So I think that's honestly what was the cause for me. I haven't had any like issues like that, like off and on kind of thing. I think a lot of people had expressed that, but that wasn't really the case for me. And I really just think it's me trying to protect myself in other ways. And now I'm dealing with this.
Yeah, that's interesting that you were able to. Not a lot of people can pinpoint maybe what or where, and that can add to the frustration. Obviously, it's frustrating to get BV in general, but super interesting to hear that you're able to narrow it down maybe or pinpoint to what could have been like a trigger for you. I would love to know, what did you do then? Did you go to the doctor? Did you look stuff up online right away? Go to the store just to see what you could get?
Yeah, so I did all of those. I initially had just tried boric acid, like suppositories, and those seem to help, but it's just they help for a day and that's kind of it. But then when you have sex again, it just comes back. And not to say that it wasn't helpful. I want something that's more sustainable that I don't have to, every time it pops up, I have to take it. I just want to be able to be at a maintenance where I already know that I'm like doing preventative stuff and I can just feel confident that every time I have sex and use a condom, that's not going to happen for me.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say, yeah, they feel like boric acid is more like a short-term fix. And I think we all are after long-term wellness and
Like
for us.
root cause kind of thing. Yeah, so I did the boric acid. I take other supplements that I think can help with like candida, for example. I take it for other things, but it just happens to also be beneficial for that too. So I tried making sure I was taking those every day, but that didn't seem to work either. And then I had finally decided to just pull the trigger on Happy V. At the same time, I also was it's funny because when I decided to do that, I also needed to go to my Well Women exam. And so when I ended up doing that, they did tell me that I had BV. And they had, while I was in my appointment, they were like, "Are you taking any like prebiotics, probiotics, anything like that?" And I was like, "Actually, I am now." So they still ended up giving me like an antibiotic, like the gels for you, but I was doing the Happy V at the same time. And so once everything cleared up and me still taking Happy V, I, don't, I haven't really had any issues so far. So I guess I'm on like month 4 now of Happy V. And I think my subscription actually just shipped like yesterday.
Oh, nice.
3 months. I'm going on month number 4 now.
That's awesome. How did you hear about Happy V?
Just like trying to figure out different natural supplements. I think that among others came up on my Instagram feed. And that's how I was like, as a consumer, sometimes you impulse buy, but other times you're like, I need to see it. Or subconsciously, you're like, when I see it a few times, then I'll end up pulling the trigger. And that's how it was for me. That was the one for some reason that just resonated the most out of all of the kind of targeted ads that I was getting.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you feel like resonated with you the most about Happy V?
I think it was just like the customer stories, and maybe it was like the founder. I
Danielle.
forget. Yeah. So it was like her and her husband, but she was like talking about like it was her boyfriend at the time, and this kept happening. And that's like part of the reason why she started the company. And obviously, with sex, it's very intimate. And so, as a female, you always want to go into that feeling your best, even though you might have put on a bomb dress, like your makeup looks good, like you feel good. But then, like, when it gets to that, if you don't feel 100%, like, that's obviously going to bring down your confidence. And no one wants that because everyone can see or smell or understand what's happening, but no one wants to say anything, obviously, because it's an intimate moment during that time. So I think, yeah, just hearing her story, and obviously her boyfriend, husband at the time was like very supportive of her. You just always want to feel like that, regardless of what situation you're going into with your partner or like someone that you're seeing or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think her story just really did it for me.
Spoke to you. That's awesome. That's great to hear. So you said you've been taking Happy V for about 4 months now. What
Yeah.
has your experience been like, and what health changes were you hoping to improve with Happy V?
I take it every morning. That's just like what's been easiest for me. Really, it's just my vaginal health in general. Everything has improved as far as like discharge, smell, even like wetness as well. Such a weird word. I just think like across the board, everything has like improved for me. And I don't know, once I start to see that, I know that's something that I'm just going to turn into a routine for me if I'm actually seeing results. And I feel like it's doing something to help me. Why wouldn't you continue to do something like that? The other thing that I really like about Happy V is that the strains like are like a lot of other supplements are like more natural, like plants or I don't know, whatever other ingredients they have. But and I've talked with my friend who's helped me a lot with like hormone health and stuff like that. And she says that really, unless a supplement is like actually targeting a specific strain, it's not really doing that much for you. So I think that was also another reason why I was like, this has to help me in some sort of way, even if it's just with gut health alone. So that was like honestly, like another really big selling point for me.
That's awesome. Yeah. We do pride ourselves in that there's not a lot of pre and probiotics on the market that have like clinically dosed strains at the right amount, dosages. A lot of them, like what you were saying, are just blends and you don't really know how much of what or what's all in there.
Right.
And we really believe like that's important and what sets Happy V apart too. So I'm so glad that you noticed that and took the time to read the label and know what was going on with the ingredients and all that on there too. So has Happy V helped with your BV and symptoms with that?
Yeah, it definitely has. I think in conjunction, like I hadn't been taking a probiotic or prebiotic anyways. And so like that with also just speeding up me getting better with using like an antibiotic, but also then continuing to use Happy V, it it has drastically decreased everything that I was experiencing before. Yeah, I'm happy with it and with all the results that I'm getting.
Can you just speak a little more specific to what results you are feel like you're seeing? I know you said what you were going through before, but yeah, I would love just to hear a few of those things that you felt like it's helped you with.
Yeah, I feel I go to the gym and I do take care of myself, but I also feel like I'm not feeling also as bloated as I was before. So I'm assuming that part of that is because of from Happy V. And then as far as like vaginally, I'm not having the discharge that I had before. I'm not having any kind of weird smell or anything like that, which is like the worst part about BB and it's so embarrassing. But yeah, that I'm not really having anymore. And I guess something that has improved is like it's not as dry, which is good too.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. I'd love to talk through, maybe you could tell me like before Happy V, what you were feeling and maybe going through, what it felt like to walk through that, even like relationally with partners, what you were feeling. And then now to how even like your confidence and self-esteem has improved. If you don't mind sharing, would love to hear a little bit of the before and after of that for you.
Yeah, I think before I started Happy V, it would be like, okay, am I going to notice anything today? Is he going to notice anything? And I would just like gauge like every interaction, like, oh, today I was okay, but this day I wasn't. And it would just go like back and forth. And that's pretty frustrating when you're like a sexually active person. And then with Happy V, I'm not necessarily like paying attention to that as much anymore because I just know that I'm good. So I'm not like necessarily worried about am I okay this day or this day. It's just like I'm at a neutral place of where I everything is just fine. So yeah, that's definitely increased my confidence and obviously I'm not like having any kind of anxiety or my subconscious is like thinking about that when I'm going into maybe an interaction with my partner. Yeah, it's definitely been like a confidence booster for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah. Were you able to talk with your partner at all about what was going on? Or was that something you kept more to yourself?
No, I did because there were like certain symptoms where I was like, we can't, we just need a little break in between. And it's so common for girls. I would imagine that any like mature man has dealt with that with a female before. I didn't feel like I couldn't share that. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely something that I just opened up about with. I'm like a naturally open person anyway. So if
Yeah.
he didn't like it, then it is what it is.
Yeah. And I've heard we all struggle with different things that we worry about, but I hear you saying too. It's crazy how it's like something when you're going through it, you're thinking about it constantly. It's always on your mind. And then when you find something that works for you, like how Happy Bee worked for you, you don't think about it anymore. But looking back, you're maybe like, wow, that took up so much of my mind and mental
Yeah.
space and worries and whatever. And that, like, how freeing it is now to not have to worry about that.
And the amount of just Googling I was doing to figure out like what I should spend my money on and what I should do, it was a lot because I would think about it almost every day. And
Right.
that we have so many other things to worry about. That shouldn't be one thing.
Yes, agreed. How do you envision on incorporating Happy V into your long-term wellness routine?
Long term, it literally sits like I have all my skincare and then I have a couple supplements that I always take in the morning. So it's like I do my skincare and then I do that and then I go and make breakfast and take my dog outside. So it's something that I do every day now and it's almost turned into second nature. I'll freak out if I forget it.
Oh, that's great. Love to hear that. All right, last question. I love talking and hearing your story, so thank you so much for sharing all of it. But would love to know if you could go back and talk to Ashley 4 months ago when she was Googling and searching, and it's all she could think about. Some encouragement or words of advice, or anyone else out there that's also listening, going through the exact same thing that you went through. What encouragement or words of advice would you share with them?
I'm not the kind of person that would just be like, just do it because I told you. I'm definitely a person that likes to do a lot of research and look at different products and ask people that I trust or that I have trusted with my health previously about what they think or if something like this is going to help and just get their opinion. I honestly wouldn't really do anything differently just because I'm a very diligent, like, it took me like a year to buy a couch. I feel like the amount of time that I spent doing research on this just like really checks out for someone like me that wants to understand what they're putting into their body. So I would say if you're like a wellness girly, gym girly that really takes care of themselves, what you're putting into your body, you really try and stay away from sugars, processed foods, like anything like that. If that's like the lifestyle that you live, then I can confidently say that Happy V would be a good choice, but still do your own research to make sure that you feel comfortable in that decision. As someone who prioritizes that stuff myself, I would definitely recommend it to any person who was in my position previously, but also lives the same kind of lifestyle that I do.
Love that. Yeah, I think that's great to point out that yeah, it definitely matters how we take care of ourselves and our bodies and the way we treat it and the lifestyle that we live and what we feed it. And so our Happy V supplement like that can come in and really just elevate and help the goodness that you're already doing to your body and help with target a little bit better what you need the support in. So that was great. Thank you. Thanks, Ashley, for chatting today. I loved hearing your Happy V story, and thank you so much for sharing it. I know it's going to impact other people on their journey too.
Yeah, I really hope it does. I appreciate it.
Awesome.